Welcome back to another video. Uh, Sorry for my absence for a long time. I've just had some other things to sort out. Just get my channel back online as I've decided to come back and share my knowledge. I have just some background on me. I have about 30 years experience in the IT field, working from originally as an instructor and leading into in the field and working in data centers. Um, so I have about 20, almost 25 years experience working in a data center at the moment, and I'm more in charge of storage, the blades and servers, basically all the functions in the data center other than the networking side as I focused on more of the data center um, storage, servers, and virtualization over the years. So I tend to share my knowledge through the whole thing. So this video is just going to start off with a 2024 build, what my system is currently running, so you know what I'm using, and the virtualization package I'm using and why. So let's start off with the equipment. My equipment right now, I'm running a Windows 11 machine, sorry, running on a Ryzen 5 7600, 6-core processor. I'm running with a deep cool. It's not the exact model, but it's the similar. It's a 2-fan rad liquid cooler. I'm probably going to go back to an air chiller soon. Uh, I'm not sure yet. I haven't really had any problems, but I'm thinking about going away from the liquid coolers. I have a gaming Gigabyte B650 gaming board. I don't really play video games, but I just bought this board because it was a good match at the time when I was buying my hardware, with the supply chain and on pricing and so forth. So I just put together what I could think about that I needed at the time. I also have 64 gigabytes of RAM, Trident, G-Skill Trident RGB RAM. So I grabbed two of those, two sets of those. I'm running a 2 terabyte Kingston NVMe on the board, and I'm also running alongside it a 1 terabyte NVMe, not quite this model, but a little older. That's for my VM storage and things I do with my labs. I'm also running a RTX 4060 video card. I know I had a 3060 12 gig. It's certainly a lot more powerful than this one, but with this new build, I decided just to go to a 4060. I didn't need much. Again, I don't play games, so this one is satisfactory for what I need it for. I probably could have got away with an Intel Arc, but this is what I'm using. I'm also using a mid-tower case, very similar to this model. It's really just a tinted glass system. I would recommend more of a mesh front to get more airflow into your computer, because my case right now only decides to have a little bit of mesh pull the cold air in. I think it's limiting because you want cold air to be pulled in through the front, pass through the equipment, and hot air going out the back. That's typically how I build systems. That's what's a good idea to use. I'm also using a 650 watt power supply. This one here was on sale, and it was modular, and it was also RGB. Not that I cared, but it was a good price, so I couldn't turn it down. So I'm into it about $1,700, maybe 1,800 bucks around finishing of it plus tax. Um, and I use PC Part Picker. Choose Canada if you're from Canada, and it can give you a better idea what you're looking at for parts, where you can get them from. Mainly why I use this is because it doesn't estimate power wattage needs. So when I put together everything, I can kind of have an idea of the type of power supply I'm going to need to power all this up. Generally, if this thing tells me I need a 343, so you wouldn't go buy a 400 because you might want to plug other things in the future. So I typically stick around a 650, 700 watt again. So this one's been pretty good to me. I haven't had any complaints, and so far so good. And I know there's some good ones like Seasonic that has like 12-year warranty and things like that. So you can buy whichever you prefer. I'm not trying to push you to buy any specific hardware. I use this equipment just because of reasons. It works. That's all that matters. I don't need a $10,000 gaming PC to show off like these other channels do. I'm just here to get my work done, and that's what I use my computer for. I don't need to have extravagant part names and Corsairs and all that stuff all over the place. I just use what works, and it's this system seems to work for me, and I don't have any complaints. So that's pretty much my build. Let's go to the VM. So I use VMware Workstation. I know you can use Proxmox now and other systems too, but I've always liked the VMware product. However, the landscape now in 2024, because Broadcom had bought VMware, the licensing costs are starting to go through the roof because they're trying to push everybody to go subscription model, as with every other company. So they're just doing what others are doing, which is expected nowadays. So VMware may not be a platform many people will stick with. I currently run a VMware environment for in my day job. It's going to be quite expensive with a renewal, and I've been looking into ideas. Maybe flip over to the second most popular Hyper-V, Hypervisor, which would be Microsoft Hyper-V. So I'm going to build a lab and go through just kind of get myself some more acquainted with it and used to it. So my labs will include setting up a domain controller. We'll perhaps set up some Windows 10 machines to log in to prove it's working, do some profiling like my previous videos I've done. We'll do group policy, we'll do things like that, just to kind of better acquaint everything knowledge. We'll just build knowledge as we go with each server and figure out some things with some videos, as I've always done with my past videos. So I have 3 hypervisor servers I'm going to run. I have 2 file servers we're going to run. We're also going to get into doing iSCSI, sharing of storage, things like that, and how to set up storage in an environment like a lab. How would you do that without having a SAN or a NAS or anything like that? So I'll show you how to do that with the videos I create. And I'm pretty sure if you've seen my previous videos, this will just be more of an update of those, give you something more current. And of course, we will run a SQL Microsoft SQL server. We will do a setup of a cluster. So we'll have those clustered. We'll do a file server cluster, setting up a DFS, which is distributed file system, using Microsoft DFS, and we'll do a lot of stuff with our labs. This will be the start of it. I do have some Mac VMs, so I can run Mac. That's why I like the VMware product. I could do these things if I need to. This is not for production usage, it's for me to learn. That's all it is. And you see ESXi 7, Proxmox, yes, I've been toying with it. Nutanix, that's another one I toy with, and XCP and G. So these are amongst the ones that people are using out there. I wanted to get a feel for what we could do switching away from a VMware product, for instance. And I've narrowed it down to, in a corporate situation or an enterprise situation, you definitely want somebody you can get supported, not necessarily free forums out there on the internet and asking for help. Because if you have a critical down situation in an enterprise, you have minutes, not days, to get things up and running. So it's always good to have a 1-800 phone number or something to help you support a system, because nobody knows everything. I don't care who you are, you don't know everything. You will always need help somewhere or some form, and Google is not always a good path to get things done fast. It's a good helper, but again, it's knowledge comes with experience, and experience gives you more knowledge. So that's my thing. My past, I used to be an auto mechanic. I've dabbled in computer programming in 1980s, 83, 84 area. Very base programming, not much. And just playing with computers all through the years, and then eventually shifting into a career from auto mechanics and other type hands-on work, factory work, things like that. So I have a vast background, but I'm very good with diagnostics, and that's why my videos, I will not have perfect videos. So you'll see some videos when we have an error, we'll work our way through the errors. I won't cut the video and edit to cut them out to make it look like a perfect video. So that's where my videos differ from others, and I hope to share the knowledge with everybody. And if anybody watches them, great. If they're helpful, perfect. And don't hesitate to comment if there's anything I talk about that you need more exposure to. You want me to dig deeper into it, we can create videos and make deeper dives into each item we talk about. I don't want to go too long into each video, but just we'll build a server, we'll do a simple setup, and then we'll go through some configuration items that you need to do just to get you up and running, and then give you the thirst to go dig in deeper yourself. So I do have, as you see here, I have many Windows servers. These are all 2019 servers. These are just base builds. So it's a good idea with your lab. If you're going to follow along, I would suggest building yourself at least a couple of servers to start with. The very first video I recommend for my next video is to create a domain controller. So just set up a Windows 2019 server. It doesn't have to be licensed. It could be the 120-day trial, and set up yourself at least minimum 2 Hyper-Vs. And eventually we'll do 2 file servers and SQL servers for databasing. So that's pretty much what I wanted to get into with this video, is just to bring myself back and let you know I will be making a video series of all these topics, and hopefully we'll 1 to 2 a week just to get the videos out there. I will spend some time on this and share my knowledge with you. So I'm looking forward to it, and we'll see you next video. Thank you.